Right now, there's a document that decides whether you get approved for a house, a car, or a business loan. And most people have never actually read it. Not the score, the actual report underneath the score. I've pulled and broken down over 100 of these for clients, and almost every single one has something on it the person had no idea was there. I'm Dorian Burns. I run Burns Legacy Enterprise, and I spent years learning this system from the inside. While serving active duty, building my own credit from the ground up. In the next few minutes, I'm going to open an actual credit report on screen and walk you through every section that matters. What it means, what it's costing you, and where errors usually hide. If you've never actually looked past your score, this is the video where that changes. Before we get into it, quick context on why I even know this stuff. I didn't learn this in the classroom. I learned it rebuilding my own credit while on active duty. Then turned that into a business helping other people do the same thing, like consumers, entrepreneurs, and a lot of military members who are dealing with the exact same problem I had. So this isn't theory, this is what's actually on these reports, section by section. Section 1, personal information. Here's a real report. I blacked out the identifying details, but the structure is exactly what you'll see on yours. The first section is personal information. Your name, addresses, employers, sometimes even old addresses from years ago. Most people skip right past this section, but don't. This is actually one of the more common places for simple identity mix-ups to happen. A similar name, a shared address history, an old employee that isn't you at all. Quick analogy, think of this section like the cover page of a case file. If the cover page has a wrong name loosely attached to it, you want to know that before anyone even reads page 2. Section 2, account history and trade lines. This section is the one that actually determines your score, and almost nobody reads it correctly. This is your account history, sometimes called trade lines. Every credit card, auto loan, mortgage, and line of credit you've ever had shows up here, along with the payment history for each one, month by month, going back years. Here's the analogy I use with clients. Your score is like a movie trailer. This section is the actual movie. The score gives a quick impression. This section tells the whole story. How much you owe, how long you had the account, whether you ever paid late, and how close to your limit you're running. I had a client, I'll keep this anonymous, whose score looked fine on paper, but when we got into this section, we found a credit card reporting a balance that had actually been paid off 8 months earlier. The score didn't reflect it yet, but the account hadn't updated. That's the kind of thing you only catch by actually reading this section, not just checking the number at the top. Section 3, public records and collections. Now, this section is heavier, so let's slow down. Public records and collections where charge-offs, collection accounts, and, if applicable, things like judgments show up. This is usually the section that causes the most stress, and understandably so. But here's something important. There's a specific reporting standard called Metro 2 that companies are supposed to follow when they report these accounts to the bureaus. When that standard isn't followed correctly, the account can end up reporting inaccurately. Wrong balance, wrong date, wrong status. I'll show you exactly what a Metro 2 mismatch tends to look like in just a minute. That's actually the most common place I find most of my errors. Section 4, inquiries. Quick section, because it matters less than people think. Every time a company checks your credit, it shows up here as an inquiry, hard or soft, depending on the type of request. A lot of people panic over this section more than any other, but in reality, inquiries usually have a smaller and shorter-lived impact than late payments, high balances, or collections. Think of it like a visitor log outside the house. It tells you who stopped by, but it doesn't tell you what condition the house is actually in. Section 5, where errors actually hide. Okay. Here's the section I told you I'll come back to. The most common place I find actual reporting errors is in that account history section, specifically around 3 things. Balances that haven't updated after a payoff, payment history that doesn't match your own bank record, and account statuses, like open versus closed, that are simply outdated. Here's exactly how to check. You pull your credit report, pick your 3 oldest and your 3 newest accounts, and compare the reported balance and status against your own statements from the same month. That's 5-minute comparison of how most errors get caught. Not by guessing, by comparing. So, 5 sections: personal information, account history, public records and collections, inquiries, and running through all of them where errors tend to hide. If you take one thing from this video, it's this. Your score is a summary. This report is a source document. Read the source document. Next week, I'm covering something that comes up constantly. Collections, and specifically what debt collectors are and aren't legally allowed to do when they contact you. If you ever gotten a call that felt off, you'll want to see that. If you want a simple way to go through your own report using the exact 5-section framework from this video, I'll put together a free checklist. Links in the description. It walks you through what to check in each section step by step. If this actually helped you understand your report better, subscribe. This channel is built around exactly this kind of breakdown every week. And drop a comment. Which sections are you most surprised is even on there? I read everyone.